Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Wizards Outlook, joined by Raymond Lyons, Wilson Tarpe Jr. We got a lot to get to. First off, the Wizards held off the Nets, 113-112. A pretty exciting game, as you guys can see. Rays at Capital One. So in just a little bit, I'll let you know. He'll share his insight on what he saw tonight from inside the building. But it's always going to start with a quick word from my folks over at Ooze and Us. You guys already know Super Bowl week. Join us for the big game this Sunday. Happy hour specials until close. Use a full happy hour menu at oozeandus.com. All right, Ray. It's been a super eventful day. That said, a game still had to be played. Your thoughts on Washington, holding off the Nets, knowing that both teams weren't at full strength after some of the transactions they made today. But, nevertheless.
Um, yeah, the good thing about playing the Nets is, they're going to be more than willing just to try to outscore you. So, you always got a puncher's chance in that regard. And the Wizards were able to hold on and get the victory tonight. But with that being said, their defense left a little to be desired for a majority of the game as well. They gave up 59 points in the first half to the Nets, who, like you said, they aren't even at their final form yet. So, yeah, there's some things they got to clean up. But me, you, and Cardell were talking, offline. Said they look like they are actually enjoying playing basketball again. The body language was different. Just seemed like the mood was a little more jovial than it has been. Especially considering how they've been playing recently. But but yeah, man, they came out with a lot of energy. Denny had a solid first half. Corey Kispert, man, he didn't shoot well, but he was all over the place. His hustle and his his determination, his game was great. He ran down a couple of long offensive rebounds from the opposite side of the court. Like he was all over the place, man. It just goes to show he can he can still have an impact on the game when he's not shooting particularly well. But he was still getting them up. The confidence didn't fade. So that's a good thing that he's able to still kind of keep that about himself, even if the shots aren't falling. A shocker tonight. The Wizards were the one that came out with a big third quarter to take control of the game. They usually on the receiving end of that. So yeah, man, it was good to see them come out after halftime and perform. They took control of the game there and pretty much held it throughout the remainder. Anthony Gill had some good minutes. A lot of guys got opportunities to kind of show what they could do tonight, and it was just a breath of fresh air. Given what they've been going through recently. Yeah, man, just moving forward, just try to get as much momentum as you can, and just really just go out there, have fun, and do your best for the rest of the season, man. Because yeah, any expectations that were there going into this year, you got to adjust that, given given recent events. So yeah, man, like I say, it's always good to put one in the W column, and hopefully they can keep it going.
Yeah, one of the things that jumped out to me, like you said, obviously, we all had jokes talking about how happy they looked, or it felt like it was funny. It felt like both teams playing kind of free, like burden had been lifted off of both teams. All jokes aside, the way they moved the balls would jumped out to me.
Mm.
They moved the with 12 assists on 15 made field goals. Then later on, it was 15 assists on 18 made field goals. Like they were really moving the ball well. It was kind of funny because I think the last time we were on here, we were talking about we don't really even have a full glimpse of what the offense is supposed to fully look like, possibly because we know, because of how people were executing and whatnot. Um, so it was great to see that it does work. It felt like we seen them run their sets more to completion tonight, a bit honestly. And then defensively, we saw them dig in enough to get what they had a 17-4 run, get back into the game. You talked about the third quarter. They outscored Brooklyn 31-19 in the third. I mean, one thing, I think Kenny was talking about halftime. He was fed up because he was like, man, they're not doubling Kyrie. And lo and behold, as the game went on, I guess West was just over there like, wait for it, wait for it. Second half, they started pressing that man when he had the ball. And he played a role in that third quarter run for Washington, taking some bad shots. Not, I guess I don't know how he wasn't prepared for it. It's clear Washington was like, all right, no more dancing with the ball by yourself. We're gonna bother you. Then eventually Kyrie adjusted, started going into the post, ducking in quite a bit, and then Washington responded by, all right, cool. You're picking on Neto in the post. Here's Avdia. I don't think he'll be able to, get the post ups on Denny after we send a double. But I thought it was good. Kuz had his first career triple double. It was a good win, man. Obviously needed to me full strength. You got some other additions. It was cool to see Cassius Winston out there.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like only time we seen him this year was on the go-go. So gonna ask you, because got to. Your player of the game, sir.
Man, it's kind of a lot to choose from here. I'm gonna go Kuz, man. Had like you said, he had his first career triple double. And he just did his normal thing. Affected the game in a lot of ways. Went out and scored when he needed to, played defense when he needed to, distributed and play and was a playmaker. So yeah, Kuz gets that nod from me tonight.
All right, I think for me, I had Kuzma as well. Again, it's 15, 13, and 10 in a game like this. We talk about the ball moving. You're the only one on your team with 10 assists. So we got to give you, you played a big role in that. And that's something I think, Ray, you've mentioned several times about his one of the things I guess you're impressed by or things we didn't really see in LA. He's a more than willing passer and a decent playmaker. And we've seen that several times this year. This is another one of those nights I'm with you. How about your X Factor?
X Factor, I went Neto. He was super aggressive and efficient tonight. And of course on the other end as well, he's always going to be a pest and an irritant. But he had 21 big points, 6 assists. And then was able to at times put pressure on Kyrie. So yeah, he'll get that from me.
All right, I went a little bit. I went in a different direction. I went with Anthony Gill. Doesn't usually play that much. Tonight it was 20 plus minutes. I know 2 rebounds don't seem like a lot. 15 points do though. Game like this, he gave them. Obviously he's not the most traditional type of big because he's undersized, but 15 points is 15 points, man. That production was needed tonight. So for the most part, he canceled out Blake Griffin point wise. I don't think you could ask anything more from him. TB had 13, so that duo on a shorthanded night, no gaff, and you're missing a certain someone we'll talk about a little bit later that was acquired. So you're missing a footer that should be here at some point soon. They got the job done, and credit to them because they needed help on the glass. His young boy Day'Ron Sharpe was in there early, just making an impact for Brooklyn. You had anything else you wanted to add? Otherwise, I'm gonna jump into these comments for a little bit till Cardell joins me, and then for those of you in the comments, we're gonna get to the trades and everything a little bit later. So I know y'all got a lot of comments. I'm about to start with you guys in a little bit, and again, when Cardell comes on, we'll get his take on the same thing Ray just shared. So Ray, appreciate you.
All right, man.
All right, folks. These comments. That's where y'all want to start. We got Troy. Appreciate you, Troy. Have to find a point guard that wants to be the point of attack on defense. Any Davion Mitchell's available upcoming draft. I cannot lie to you. I haven't begun to take a look yet. Probably question better. If you remind me a little bit later on when Cardell get on, we'll revisit this. To see if he knows. I'll start it for later. So make sure I know where it's at. But yeah, that would definitely be a help there for sure. Speaking of it. What's going on, Cardell?
It's good.
Ain't nothing. I was just about to jump in the comments, but we're gonna get back to Wizards held off the Nets. Ray just shared his thoughts on it. We were all joking in our group chat. Both teams seemed have an added bounce in their step tonight, a little bit light, if you will. But now for Washington, Brooklyn, that was their 10th consecutive loss. For Washington, they needed to get back on get into the win column. It's been a little bit. Your thoughts on them holding off Well, first rallying and then holding off Brooklyn in this one.
I thought they played with joy. I thought they played free. You know what I mean? I think with the trade deadline gone, guys just like, all right, I'm gonna at least be here to the end of the season. You can exhale, you can, and then for the other guys that have been kind of sitting, not getting a lot of minutes, this is their chance to play and show what they could do, man. And they played the style that West Unseld has wanted them to play all along. They played together as a team. They trust one another on both ends. They sacrifice. They made an extra pass. Made an extra rotation. Trap. They did it all though. Like I can remember the last time we saw the Wizards really play defense like this. This consistency, they haven't done it since the 10-3 start. You know what I mean? And none of the quote unquote big name players were on the floor. Outside I guess you could say Kuz or whatnot, but all in all, it was just a great team win. They a much needed win. I like what I saw, man. You know what I'm saying? And they can continue this style. Obviously West Unseld said in this post game presser, if they can continue this style and the sacrificing for one another and trust one another, they can try to make a push for at least the play-in spot. You know what I'm saying? Stay healthy, but make a push. I think that should be there. Like let's keep the playoff thing going. We know what it is. We know who's here, and I don't mean no disrespect to the guys that left. You notice when things went bad, guys started playing for themselves, and it filtered down to all the other guys. With them gone, it got back to team basketball, and the team basketball you saw prevail. You know what I mean? I know the Nets are not healthy or whatnot. They still got a monster over there, and they still had the best player on the floor over there. You know what I'm saying? So, and they almost could have pulled it out themselves, but defense won the game. They trapped the hell out of Kyrie and forced Cam Thomas into a tough shot. So you just got to tip your hat to him.
Yeah, I was saying to Ray, it felt kind of cool to possibly because we were wondering something we had talked about recently as a group. I think maybe on the last show we did was just we didn't know how well or not how well, but the how poorly they were executing his offense. We had no idea what it actually really looked like.
Exactly.
It felt like we got a glimpse tonight, seeing them run their sets to completion at times and get even easier baskets. Felt like there was an actual flow. Which speaks to what you just said that he said in the presser, talking about them sacrificing for one another. Like the ball was moving, 15 assists, 18 made baskets at one point during the game. Like they were moving the ball, and we've seen them be very stagnant at times, and that wasn't the case. Obviously, it's only one game; it wasn't perfect, but just something to bring up.
Yep. Yeah, I'm definitely not about to nitpick. They needed a win. If you did as a team, 7 players and scoring, take it. It's a win. You know what I mean? Especially considering everything, the emotional roller coaster that was today. Yeah. Efficiency 50% from the field, 35% from three, 88% from the line, 29 assists, man. Like 11 turnovers, which is very good. Especially with a group of guys like Cassius wasn't playing; he was sitting. You know what I mean? Guys had to be versatile. Like Rui was playing a 5. Man, Rui was playing a 5 on defense, having to help trap and blitz Kyrie and stuff, and then went to the 4 on offense. So he had to understand what to do for basically two different positions every time he crossed court, man. And that's tough to do. People just think it's about skill and all that, but no, it's really your IQ. You have all the skill in the world. If you don't know what to do with it or understand sets or situations, you're gonna look foolish out there. It just is what it is, especially in the league. Guys are too good and too smart. So, like man, I tip my head. Kuzma, he did his thing, triple double. That never hurts. Efficient triple double, 6 for 15. Look, man, all you can do is tip your hat, man. You know what I'm saying? The reinforcements will come. Then you got to add them to the mix, build the chemistry. And see how it goes, man. And like I said, their eyes should be on trying to get back in that those play-in positions, man. Because let's just keep it real. After All-Star break, teams that's in the playoff mix gonna be in kill mode, and they should be one of those teams. You're on mute.
Appreciate you. Ray and I had already shared, but for you, so folks can hear it, you play the game in X Factor.
Play of the game. That's actually tough. That's actually tough. I'm gonna give it to Neto, man. I know Kuz had a triple double, but 21 points starting at point guard. He didn't know what that was gonna be. He until the trade was made, 6 assists, 7 of 9 shooting from the field. That's insane. He turned the ball over 3 times, but man, he had to guard Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? And put those numbers up. That's tough. You know what I mean? So, and Kyrie, yeah, he put up numbers and whatnot, but he shot 9 for 22. You held him inefficient. You won. That's what you do against great players. You make them inefficient, you win. So, and really Kyrie got a lot of his points from the free throw line, 10 of 11. So, yeah, I'm gonna give it to Neto. And then my X factor, that's tough too. That's because so many players did their thing. That's tough. Gil, I'm giving it to Gil, man. 15 points off the bench, 6 or 7. I think he's averaging like 6 minutes a game this season. Came right in, heavy minutes, 26, ready. That's a pro. That's what pros supposed to do. Stay ready. And when your number's called, you deliver. That's what he does, man. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to him, man. He was big off the bench because their bench had, out their bench production, they probably would have lost this game, but they stepped up, man. And then, like I said, you tip your hat to them.
All right, that said, just a reminder, we're going to get into the comments like we always do. And then after we get through the comments, we're going to get into the very long day that was in terms of the league as a whole with the trade deadline. So we're going to get through a good chunk of your comments now. And we'll get into our thoughts on the trades and whatnot. And obviously, we'll still get into some comments as we get into that portion, but just letting you guys know what we got planned tonight in case you didn't read the description. So, all right, Cardo, let's get through these. I think the first one, I'd answered this already, but I also told them to go ask you.
I have to find a point guard that wants to be the point of attack on defense. Any Davion Mitchell's available in this upcoming draft? Hard to say, man. Davion Mitchell was special. He was the best defender in the draft. You know what I mean? So, there's so many players out there, man. It's a lot of college programs, man. So, I don't know. Davion, like I said, he's special. It's the reason why he was picked where he was picked, why he's becoming the defensive base. I don't know if they're at that level, but there are a lot of guards that they get after it defensively. But we got to see if they even declare, man. You know what I mean? A lot of, with the pandemic, kids got, they got another year if they choose to. Some might hit the transfer portal. Some might get feedback that they're not going to get drafted. So, it's just tough to say at this stage in the game. But, yeah, for sure. It's always defenders in the draft. You just got to find them.
All right. You took in Coach West's press conference. Was anything you wanted to share with the folks?
Yeah, he just touched on tonight's one. He said, I thought he said he thought the ball movement was excellent. Obviously when you make shots, it helps. But he said you got to give guys a lot of credit. Anthony Gill, Cassius, they stepped up. Had 7 guys in double figures. It was a great team win. He said this is an example of how we need to look from here on out. Like you said, that team on. So he put it out there. This is what he's looking for. So don't ask like why guys ain't ISO. He want team. He want the ball movement. He want guys getting after it defensively. He said win or lose, he need everybody on the team to be invested in the process. And read between the lines, what we've been seeing the last couple months, that wasn't the case. So, it is what it is. And that's the beauty of the trades. No disrespect to the vets. Sometimes when you're a vet, you stuck in your ways because it's been working for you at other spots. But when you come to a new situation, they ask you to make adjustments. Those adjustments are uncomfortable. And guys don't like being uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? You got to think. And it's kind of like, in a sense, in a little ways, being like a rookie, trying to figure stuff out. And when this stuff go bad, they're like, man, why can't I go back to what works for me? And that's when they become selfish. And, the Weeze situation turned into me. Then you got a bunch of me trying to hoop, and you saw how that worked out, man. So no disrespect with those vets gone. You got a bunch of young players eager to prove Wes Unseld can coach now. So now we can see the type of coach he is. It's hard to see that when you got a bunch of veterans stuck in the way. So that's what he means by being invested in the process. He spoke on Porzingis. He said it'll be a work in progress, but his skill set is unique. He fits well, and he would be able to spread the floor and create space for other guys. And he touched on that. If him and Brad get on the court, he said the two-man game between him and Brad will be a nightmare to deal with because both can shoot, both can put it on the floor, they can screen for one another, post up. They can do a lot of the similar things. That Porzingis is 7'3", you know what I'm saying? So it creates a matchup nightmare. So he said he can't wait to get to work to try to figure that out. Ish Smith, he said he said he's coached Ish on 2 other occasions, so he has familiarity with him. He understands Ish is a fast guard that likes to create space, and he said he don't mind that. But he said you gotta be efficient with that pace. You can't just be out running and just throwing the ball in the 5th row. You know what I mean? And it's just that's defeating. That's just not gonna help anything. So it's defeating the purpose. So he understands what he brings. Obviously, some guys that were here last year, like Denny or whatever, they play with him. So I expect the transition to be seamless. Talked about Rui. He said he thought Rui was good at the 5. He did a great job. He said it's not easy trying to blitz Kyrie and then play the 4 on offense. Well, he did well. You know what I mean? And that's what he means sacrificing. He was undersized, but he did his thing. And he said the moves today were positive. They helped most of what they're trying to do. It's a tough day for everybody. Everybody got traded. He said he wished them well. And, move on. And he said you hope for the best.
All right. And we're going to get into more of that very emotional day for so many players that got shipped around today a little bit later. But back to the comments. Biggie Steve, what do I take from a game we had no business winning? And Cardell said it a little bit earlier. You needed a win. You got to win. It was a tough day. Both teams in this game where furniture moved for both teams. What was important regardless, that you got to win. KP coming to DC from Dallas for Spencer Bertin. It's a great day to be a Wizards fan. Tommy does it again.
Yeah, we was kind of celebrating on that earlier, man, because one of those, it was just you just taking up a jersey dog and a seat on the bench, man. It is what it is, man. And we, said it earlier in the season, man. I'm like, look, just take your L like a man. That was a bad contract. He didn't deserve it. Wilson, I wasn't a fan of it to begin with because he's just a specialist. Like I said, if he ain't hitting shots, he brings nothing to the table. But somehow being a good player has only been limited to if you can shoot the ball these days. You know what I'm saying? And when you're a multi-dimensional threat, that's when you're a good player. And I think that's been lost, man. So regardless, man, they got some pieces, man. I'm not saying we about to make a run for the championship or something like that, but they got what they did was get some hope back in the building, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it was looking bad. It was looking bad, man. And now you got some youthful energy to mix with some veterans that know what to do. And if you compete like you did tonight, man, you'll win your fair share of games down the stretch in the second half of the season, man. And that's all you can hope for. And getting to play, and like I said, keep some postseason runs going that you build on that. And, I know everybody going to probably ask later on about, the Bill situation. Now you kind of got a situation where you can go either way. If he's out, he opts out, fine. We build with the youngest. They're going to be used to playing and stuff like that. Or if he in, cool. The youngest are still used to playing with him, so you can still fit that in. So you bought yourself some rope, man, instead of just like, man, if he leave, it's a wrap. It's nothing left. We got below this on up. So, I like the moves today.
Shea had 7 players in double figures we talked about earlier. That was key for the dub. Neto, a terrible decision in the last 5 minutes. I'm kind of with Cardell. With Neto today, someone had to fall on the sword of dealing with Kyrie all game. He did it. I don't really have an issue with Neto.
No, not at all.
Love the fact that the young guys got the chance to play. I think KCP and Neto should get less minutes. Let Rui, Denny, Kispert, and Kuz will play more. I think they will play more, and there's no rush. Like, you got the rest of the season. There's no rush to – like, the minutes thing can happen organically. Like, again, we still have to remember, like, even with Rui, he's still getting back. Right? Rui's not all the way fully back. TB's still trying to get all the way back. And I think with someone for I think Kisper's been one of the few where his minutes have been steadily climbing the entire year.
Yeah, because he plays with effort.
Yeah, so
and then, you can shoot the ball. Let's keep it real. He made Bertans expendable.
Yeah,
because he's a shooter and he can do more. It's what it is.
Which we've been seeing more and more in recent games. That once you run him off the line, the play didn't die, and he's not useless afterwards. Man opened the game today, attacking a hard closeout and throwing a lob. Two things that other people couldn't do in their wildest dreams. WJ needs to open his eyes. Rui plays extended minutes. We go on a run. He sits, we lose the lead. Again, Rui's not all the way back. Like Rui's not about to be out here playing 35 minutes. So,
and also, do y'all understand who he had to watch? Like Kyrie's a tough cover though. You expend a lot of energy keeping him at bay, but still getting back to your man, whoever that may be. And tonight it wasn't even just about Kyrie, Cam Thomas. Like that's why the trade with the trade that they did, what we got, when we gonna get into it later, was huge, man. That's the other scorer. Like he's a buck. He's always been a professional scorer. Like high school, he was a pro scorer. Like even in high school, I was saying like this dude can get in the league and just score. Like he's just one of those dudes. He puts the ball in the basket. He's one of those guys. So he went off, man. Like it's just, look, man. You need defensive players and you need guys that's smart and understand what to do. But at the same time, he had a bang with Blake. He had a bang with what's my man name? Martial arts dude.
James Johnson. Yeah, James Johnson.
He had a bang with James Johnson. Physical. It's not easy.
Young boy was banging from Brooklyn too. Dayron Sharp was down there.
Dayron Sharp, him. Yep. You see what I'm saying? So you banging with them, then you trapping Kyrie. Then on offense, you moving around, setting screens and jumpers. Like, yeah, he gonna need a breather here and there, man. Just facts.
And then let's talk about with Denny too. Like, and this is the other thing with youngsters. Like, I know y'all want them to get to that next step or whatever. It's part of the process too. Like, even Denny, you're playing more minutes, and it looks like his role's not even the exact same. With after the trade, like we saw him doing some of the stuff y'all been asking for. He was handling the ball a little bit more tonight. At times still, and some of it's just getting comfortable. And I think in time you get to the places as the young players mature, you'll be able to do things like automatically take advantage of mismatches and things of that nature. Like there's a process for youngsters, and y'all gotta just let it happen. Take KCP out the last 3 minutes because he was getting abused by whoever hit that 4-point play. KCP is probably the best person on his team at getting around screens. I don't think you can't afford it. Like I know Cam got fouled on that play, but nobody else on his roster gets over screens like KCP. Go ahead, Carson.
Yeah, bro, he's one of their best defenders, man. Like you're gonna get got sometimes. You defend the all world scores, man. Like I don't know what people are looking for when they talking about defense, man. You're not gonna shut down. You're not gonna hold a great score to 0 in the league. It's just never gonna happen unless he's just way off. The goal is to make him take a lot of shots and shoot his team out the game, trying to get his numbers, and then that means you got to win. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't know about that, man. He's the best. It's the reason why they kept him in his professionalism throughout the season. Is, like I said, through all the mistakes, he was steady at it. You know what I'm saying? He's steady. He brings what he brings. So you need that out there.
I'm gonna try to get through a couple, some more quickly. Why in case we get traded? I think Cardell said it best the other day. Like people gotta want things and get things in return. And also, I don't think they're gonna be able to get rid of every vet on this team. Like even like what's it called? We'll get into some of the trades later. Like they got rid of Aaron Holiday, and it was pretty much Aaron Holiday for cash. Just being honest, everybody can get everything they wanted. You got some teams that would have loved to make trades, and like the Lakers found that out the hard way. And again, we'll get into that a little bit later. Like I'm sure they wanted to move some people. I ain't see their name all day today. Making the adjustments during the game. I think that was Trez's issue.
Yeah. All that, and when Kyrie got going, he double and triple. We haven't seen that all season. Triple teams. They threw the book at them. And then whenever somebody like Rui got Kyrie or somebody like that on their back, then they slow the ball up and give them the rock. Those are adjustments. So I'm not sure what it is. That you say you think that was Trey's issue. We don't know if that was Trey's issue or whatnot. But Trey's plays hard, but he isn't the most stellar defenders in the paint. That's why he's been moved from the Clippers in LA in the last few seasons. Just facts. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna bring it. I know Jokic do it to everybody, but I'm not gonna bring up what he did to him. Like, it was bad. It was real bad. So, look, it's kind of hard to make adjustments with players when you're not confident that they can execute if you make the adjustments. So, it goes hand in hand. I mean, some games, yeah, you're right. Other games, it's the players, man. Like, look at the intensity that they defended with tonight. Let's be real. When was the last time you seen this team play like that defensively, bringing that type of energy?
That first 12 games.
That's it. And was that November?
Mm-hmm. When everything was still new and shiny, smelled like new car way back then.
February, dog. Mid-February, almost.
Right. Is KP healthy or is he routinely injured?
Porzingis?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a history of being injured, man. We're going to see how that plays out, man. Like, that's just one of them Jones. We just got to wait and see. Look, if he balled like he did in New York, advantage it's going to be a big piece for the Wizards. Even early this year, he was balling. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like he was stinking up the joint. He just got to stay healthy. He has to, man. But they say the best skill is availability, so time will tell.
They got rid of the dead weight. Yeah, I feel the vets prevent us from having bigger leads due to bad shot selection down the stretch. I think that's. Go ahead, Cardo.
I was saying that, yeah, you're right. But that's what I mean by they were undermining Unsealed. You know what I mean? And when players play like that, that means they really want to go. So, and you could tell by some of the comments in the press that was the case.
All right, KP will add a lot to the team in all 30 games he plays. And other folks were like, they don't think he's going to play 30. Somebody coming off a knee injury possibly. Said they're. This is a response to Eric. They shouldn't close games. Closing lineup should be Kuz, Kispert, Denny, Rui, and Ish. Yeah, I don't know about that yet.
I mean, he should close the game with the players that's playing the best in that game.
And it's going to be on a night-to-night basis. Even Cassius had better decisions than Neto. I mean, go ahead, Cardell. You can take that one with Cassius because I know.
21-6, he had 3 turnovers. He was 9-11 from the field. What more do y'all want, though? Like, all right, man.
I'm talking elephant in the room. We got rid of Bertans with the celebratory things next to it. This can work. Oh, man. Kyle Johnson, you don't ever waste time. I'm going to leave it on the screen. I'm not reading it. So you like what you see. See, here you go. I like what I see. That's what he put up there. Free the youngins.
Yeah, free.
Denny already got second most minutes per game. I like seeing Denny handle the point on some possessions. Yeah, I think we've been saying we're gonna see more of that. Obviously, we got to see more of it tonight. And it was the first game after folks got moved, so keep an eye on it as it goes forward. Big J not gonna work, and then he develops the left hand. And it's about Denny.
Mm-hmm.
Should have used more the mismatches on Denny. Kyrie and Mills can't guard him. Like, I think that's also one of the differences between. I know what y'all saying, but that's one of the differences between Denny and Rui. Rui on a mismatch goes to work immediately. Denny still with it was good. I was happy for Denny tonight that he was knocking down open shots. I thought that was great. One of the things that I think we're still waiting for him to improve on is finishing inside. So, like, I get what y'all saying, but right now, like, Rui's comfortable when he gets mouse in the house. He has no issue going to work.
Because he has better footwork and more skill. He can use either hand on the block. Like, it's different scoring on the block than open shots, spotting up or out on the perimeter. And, like, in college, That's the advantage he kind of got over Denny. Even though Denny played pro ball, it was different. They was using him on the wing and stuff like that. Rui was floating. He was on the block sometimes. He'd go out to the perimeter. And that's what got him drafted out because of his versatility, man. So he's comfortable down there. And also, you understand, Denny's still fairly young. So he may not have the strength of a guy like a Rui who's been 3-4 year college player in the weight room, got strength and all that. Like, you got to be able to hold your position because they bump you and be able to still make moves, get to your spot, spin offs, reverse lay-ins, come back, or you might reverse fake like you can reverse pump fake, come back and shoot it. Like, you got to be able to recognize those different situations. And meanwhile, while you're doing that, recognize other guards coming to dig down and still make the right play. And sometimes you got to score through both of them. You got to score through multiple players. You have the strength to do that. So, Denny will get there. He'll get there, man. But he's not as polished on the block as Rui right now.
I think that was a perfect way to say it. Oh, God, Kyle Johnson.
Y'all saying it?
Yeah, I'm just
going to bash him.
Yep. A win is a win.
He just here so he won't get fired.
Man.
He the GOAT because I didn't think they could do it.
I didn't think it was possible and get something for it on purpose. That's crazy. I mean, even if they do, like, this is the thing that one, it's no longer a concern. Two, that's between them and Dallas. And three, you already got a low-key small return on your investment tonight just by the stuff that's no longer here. And it was only one night. Aaron Holiday really on the Suns? Yes, he's on the Suns. Cardell, you talked on this earlier about Brad and the extension. Cardell said, and I'll just to piggyback off that. Yeah, you're in a great place. It's if you do, you do. If you don't, opt in and stay or opt in and get traded. That's where we at. It's really simple. But what you get out of this year, this is the wonderful part about getting rid of some of the folks that didn't want to walk in the same direction. Bare minimum going into making that decision, all these kids, all your youngsters, these are reps that you can't, like, these are priceless reps. Priceless opportunities, priceless reps. So for the development. So, imagine how the players that got traded after starting out 10-3. Imagine how the players feel. They got traded after starting out 10-3. Everybody all smiles on the top of the East. Now they got to relocate to a different city, wondering about playing time.
Welcome to the league.
Yep.
If you ain't want to go, if you ain't want people to be moved, should have played better than 1 games. Then there would have been no reason to move you. It's the NBA. It's pro sports. That's part of why they get paid so much, and I don't mean to sound cold. It's the league. It's pro sports. Like, I mean, they say the NBA stands for no boys allowed. It's real. So they gotta make do, man. You had opportunity. You had roles that carved out. Now you gotta try to carve out roles again. It is what it is.
Yeah, and all the talk and most of the talk that we've seen is recent about people that didn't know their roles and didn't know all this other stuff. It's just interesting that magically on the first night that stuff happened, people seem to know their roles, fit in their roles, embrace their roles. And again, that's what led to you be trained. Like Cardell said, yeah, it sucks from the human side, but this is part of the business. What you signed up for is what it is. You had a choice way back when y'all were 10-3 about doing, continuing to do things the right way or do things the wrong way. You're vets. You know how things go in this league. You know exactly how things go. Mine's about getting a real one. I feel like lots of locker room stuff going with the set of trades.
That's fair.
It's only one game, but yeah, it's fair.
Right.
Tony Jr. brought up Jaden Ivey, talked about earlier.
Yeah, the defensive thing, yeah.
Someone said they want Wanamaker back if possible. Like the KP trade, again, anything with that man's name in it, I'm just putting it up here.
Yeah.
Nice double on national TV. Keep a little bit of that long gone pride. Some sparks from hidden talent this team has. It's amazing when other people get opportunities to play or take advantage of their opportunities, rather. Man, the Wizards ain't going to no play-in.
Hold on. They're 25-29. The Hawks are 26-28. They're literally 1 game from the 10th spot. They're 2 games from the 9th spot. 3.5 out of the 8th spot. They just beat Brooklyn. That's in that spot. And they're 5 games back of Boston. So they're fully capable. I expected Brooklyn, when they get healthy, to go on a hell of a run. They're going to move up. So they're fully capable of being a play-in. And then See what happens. You acting like they Detroit, they got 12 wins or something. Like they literally one game out of 10, man.
This one from earlier. In a night like tonight, Gil over Rui because you had no one else. No one else was available tonight. No one else at all. Cardell, I also had Anthony Gill as my X factor of tonight because you went from playing 6 minutes, not really averaging anything, to 20 plus minutes. I think it was 22 or 23 minutes tonight, and they needed every bit of his 15 points. He canceled out Blake Griffin. So like I have Neto and Gill aren't getting any slander from me tonight at all. And again, I know y'all want Rui and all that other stuff. Currently, that boy is not ready to play long minutes, and as Cardell said several times, boy was gassed. He was doing a lot on defense, whole lot of ground being covered. And again, when you think about it, after TB, he's the heaviest player they had on the floor tonight. That's a whole lot. You have somebody go down there and bang, man. It takes a lot out of you. You guys think the youngsters should possibly turn the season around, at least for the play-in? By the way, love that Kuz seems to be the number one option from this point on. Quick, Cardell.
Yeah, I think so. Stay healthy and just keep playing together and incorporate. Like, you gotta see what happened with Porzingis, but yeah, that's what I've been saying. I think so. I mean, there's no reason to think why not.
All right. Let's keep this going. Fingers crossed. Rockets about John Wall. He wants to come back. I'm with Big O on that. It's wishful thinking. A whole lot of crow would have to be eaten. Like things would have to be done. At least me personally, I don't know, not there, don't know anybody in the building like that. But I don't see him coming back here. Some stuff has to be ironed out as far as how his departure went and things that were said and things that need to at least be addressed before he should ever return. How we feel about KP? I'm cool with it at the moment. Look, man, I honestly thought for them to move Davis, you're going to have to end up taking some type of L in the deal. You got rid of, one person who wasn't all the way right from their injury, and then somebody else who you kind of like, it's a bad contract you gave or whatever, and you got something for it. KP's not, is not one of those upper tier guys, but the opportunity to see what it looks like, you have him for next year and then an opt out so you can see what happens, or it's also something where if stuff doesn't work out, it's still a tradable asset, which neither one of the other two really were by themselves. Like that'd be packaged into this. Hey. Maya being petty, I said, man, that was balling. Yeah, I thought Raul had a really good game tonight. Yeah, I don't see that at all. I think LA got what they got for the rest of the year. Michael Kirksley saying you can still learn, you can see growth. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. I mean, this is the thing, Big O. Like, if he does, and that's great. But for that price, man, good for them. That's all I got. I also think that, but I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. We're gonna get to that a little bit later, Shay. Hopefully, you're still here. Yeah, it's getting there. And again, as his legs come back, I think that's something that will continue. So what I'm gonna do, Shay, is I'm gonna star your response to make sure we get to it when we get to this trade stuff later. And this is some of you guys just typing while we were talking about Denny and some other youngsters earlier. My NBA is different. It's not for the faint of heart. Look, postseason. We don't know what we'd have to see what the landscape looks like after the year. We got a long way to go before there. Like we're just at All-Star break. So the important thing is that the kids keep going the right direction. Like Cardell said, you try to get something out this season, whether it's via the play-in due to where you put yourself already, and look at a year and see what stuff looks like. But so right now, going forward with a purpose. I like the big carry kid we got. Big but cat quick. Talk about Vernon Carey Jr. Got another one, start gaff with KP so he doesn't have to bang as much. We'll see.
And you still got Isaiah Todd in the wings, man. You got, just waiting to see how he develops, what he's going to be. So, like I said, the second half about the young boys growing up, developing and stuff like that, and seeing who they're going to move with and who they're not going to move with.
So we don't need any more bigs. You're in the East. You can never have enough. Honestly.
Yeah, when Giannis and Embiid, if you even get to that point, oh no, just hold on. Let's say they get in a play-in. Say you're getting paid. Look, you gotta deal with the Hawks. You gotta deal with Collins and Capella. Then Brooklyn just got bigger. Andre Drummond, but I think they're gonna move up in the standings, of course, once they get healthy. Charlotte. Trez and them guys gonna be on one to prove that the Wizards made a mistake. And Boston just, Boston kind of, they still got Rob Williams, Lyle Williams, and they just traded for Daniel Tice again.
Yeah, they brought Tice back
the entire time. They should have go. So, yeah, you got a lot of, I'm sorry moves back, man. My bad. We shouldn't have let you go moves. So,
a whole bunch of those. Michael Kirksey, before we get to the trades, was asked about Gafford, TB, and KP is bigs. But when they're gonna play, they'll play when they're healthy, obviously, and then too, they all bring different stuff to the table. So it'll be fun to see how he mixes and matches them. And then the other thing you have is, to your advantage, is Washington has all these big wings, which we saw on tonight with Rui. What you're able to do with Rui because of this size, where he had to play five. He had to play a bunch of five tonight. Obviously not ideal what he signed up for, but you need them, man. You need the bigs, man. You talk about adding more bigs. I'm sorry. I don't think so. This year, I think they have. They have
enough of them. I mean, Thomas, Gav, Porzingis is 7'3". How many bigs you need?
And then you got Vernon,
Zayatah 6'10". No, they ain't get jumped. They just inexperienced and young. They just got to prove it. They got to prove it when the time comes. If they get to the play-in spot and get in the postseason, they just got ball.
Yeah, and I guess that's what he's trying to ask is where are they gonna, how are you gonna play all of them? I think it's easy to find minutes for bigs. They'll figure that out.
Okay, so how they gonna play them? Luckily, Porzingis is skilled enough; he can kind of float between the 4 and the 5. Gaff and TB, they just want to split the center minutes and whatnot. And then Isaiah Todd and Vernon, they going to battle for the remaining minutes in practice. If there are minutes, because you still got Rui, and he could flow between both forward spots. And you got Gill, who's a 4, but he can play a little 3 here and there too. Even though when Kuzma out in spurts and stuff but that's the thing about this lineup. This team is versatile as hell. So practice is gonna be real. That's just you guys show and prove. Practice is gonna be real. So they just gotta do their thing, man. Even Denny. Denny's in that mix too. So we know Kuz's gonna play. We know Denny's gonna play. We know Rui's gonna play. TB gonna be out there. Certain guys gonna get minutes. And I think, like we talked about earlier, I think it's all predicated on who's playing the best during that game. And that's who's going to finish the game. So at this point, it's just about getting the W's up, man. You can't worry about feelings. You want to be on the floor, ball.
Yeah, nah, you're right. And that's the other thing. There's never anything wrong with having enough that where you can choose what tool you need against, a particular opponent. Because you're going to need to go about it a different way every night. Everybody doesn't have the same, it's not a standard stale front court every night for you playing. Some guys going to do better against some bigger guys. Some nights you're going to have to lean out a little bit because you're going to have to run. So it's a luxury to have so many different body types. All right, Cardell, we're going to get into this trade thing, man. Where you want to start? I'm going to let you drive this. So.
Hey, you just call out the trades and then we go.
All right. All right, I'm gonna start with the one. We're gonna start with the deadline day ones. Is that cool? Because I think we touched on Levert or whatever the other day. So we'll start with the trades today. Okay. The crazy day trades. So we're gonna start with February 10th. All right, so we got the Magic get Bol and PJ Dozier from the Celtics, a second round pick in cash, and that's what the Magic get, and the Celtics just get a 2023 second round pick. And that was pretty much to clear some room for Boston to be able to go and get Tice back. You said, some of those, I'm sorry, please come back. We messed this up. Trades.
Right. Get healthy, Bobo, so you can show what you can do. Him and Dozier balling in the Denver. Just get healthy, man. You know, and that's what it is. Magic got a bunch of young players that they're gonna have to decide on. So get healthy so you can show what you can do.
All right, but again, these are all the trades from today, which was deadline day, or technically still is at the moment. The Raptors trade Goran Dragic to the Spurs. The Raptors get Thad Young, Drew Eubanks, a 2022 second. The Spurs get Goran Dragic and a 2022 first from Toronto.
And Derek White, I believe, went to Boston.
Yeah. We're going to get a little bit later, but yeah, he went to Boston. Yep.
I mean, Goran Dragic ain't going to play at this last spot. You know, I know some people's tweeting like how he get a pass. You know, essentially pulling a harder, but you know, it's neither here nor there, man. He with the Spurs. I don't know because you know he's at the end. He can help kind of help DeJounte Murray get to the next level. You know he's an all-star, but be a perennial all-star where you like he gonna be in that mix all the time. But I don't know, man. It just seemed like it's just one of those equal value moves. It's not really something that's gonna move, you know, the pendulum, so to speak. You know what I'm saying, for either team. I don't think they wanted to pay Derek. You know what I'm saying? And just being real. So they got somebody for the cheap that's a veteran that know what to do. Just try to build from there. Like it ain't really much to say, man. It's not something that's gonna move the needle where it's like, all right, yeah, you know, they're gonna cause a lot of noise in the second half of the season and do some damage in the playoffs. We all know which teams are gearing up for a strong run. And if you don't, you're just fooling yourself.
Like you said, it's kind of just going to the future. You obviously didn't want to pay Derek. You got a first out of it. You got someone like Goran help you get through the rest of the year if you keep him and don't buy him out or what have you. You know, it's about what you have with DeJounte. Continue to build around the young pup. We'll see how they go about doing that. All right, we got the Suns deal for Aaron Holiday. The Suns get Aaron Holiday, and the Wizards get their all-time old favorite, cash considerations.
Hey man, that was just they did him a solid. At least they sent him to a team that's capable of winning it all. Because Phoenix serious, and that's another defensive guard expel Chris Paul for the good old Steph Currys of the world and John Morant's of the world. So that's what that is. So that's all that is. Keep CP3 fresh, man. So here's some bread. Y'all know y'all gonna use it. Y'all been paying certain players money you can't get back. You wish you could get a refund. We're gonna help you out with that. So that's all that was, man.
Pretty much. That was let's go ahead and keep adding depth so we can stay where we're at in the West. It's real, like you said. They're one of several teams that made moves today where it's about staying where they want to be. You got other teams that are just wanted to load up to get to where they want to be. The
real question is, how do campaign feel?
Look, man, if I was him, I'd start to improve my effort on the defensive end of the floor.
And stay out of spaces.
Yes, stay out of spaces. Man, it get you quick, man.
It's what it gets you in trouble a lot, baby. Yeah.
Man, they ain't waste time. It wasn't 24 hours after you got caught slipping. And they went and got you. Got to All right, and then the Suns did this afterwards. Same day. Jalen Smith, Maryland alum. They had a trade with the Pacers. The Pacers got Jalen Smith in the second round pick from Phoenix, and the Suns got Torrey Craig, another wing defender for they deal with the folk they got to deal with up top in the West and across the way, because you can never have enough wings that can truly defend in the all-powerful cash considerations.
Yeah, that's for the good old Wiggins and Klay Thompsons and Desmond Baines and Dylan Brooks. Yep. And if you get past them and get to the finals for KD and Jimmy and Chris Middleton, those guys, and put them on James Harden until Philly get there. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, they just want to be deep, and he coming over, he can help spell Crowder, and he can help spell Devin Booker. You know what I'm saying? Keep those guys where they get, especially Booker and, obviously Holiday for CP3. Let them just be kind of put their energy towards offense, in this grinding out mode. It's just teams getting deeper. That's all.
All right. This is the first one. This is the first trade we're getting to that involves a now former Wizard. The Hornets acquire Montrezl Harrell from the Wizards. The Hornets get Trez. The Wizards get Vernon Carey Jr., Ish Smith, and a 2023 second-round pick. It's Boston's pick via Charlotte's.
They needed some. They needed some muscle inside. Let's just call it what it is. I know Mason Plumlee down there, but he's pretty much a lone ranger, dog. So they needed depth at the center spot. And, they eyeing trying to make a playoff run. And if you're going to make a playoff run, you don't want to get slaughtered in the first round. So you more than likely going to have to deal with Giannis or Bam. We keep talking about all these bigs, and we ain't even mentioned Bam, dog. You got to deal with Bam. Even Vucevic in Chicago, you got to deal with him. Like, you got to go through some Cleveland. They're bigs.
All 17 of them.
Yeah, Embiid, of course. Look, dog. Like, and now Drummond's with Brooklyn, and he's gonna be playing significant minutes. So you got to deal with that, man. Like I said, we kind of called this a couple years ago. If you don't get a big now, it's gonna be hard for you. Because you're gonna have to go through bigs that have some success, man, some quality bigs. So that's just what that is, man.
All right, and then we got a fun one here. A 4-team trade today. Because the Bucks were like, I see other people out here doing stuff. Let's get active as well. So the Bucks, the Clippers, the Kings, and the Pistons got to talking. This is what they did. I'm going to let you guys know where everybody ended up. So the Pistons got Marvin Bagley from Sacramento. Cool. The Kings got Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Jackson, Trey Lyles, David Michino, and a second-round pick from Detroit. The Clippers it's crazy the Clippers keep loading up while their two main guys are not available. The Clippers got Rodney Hood, Semi Ojeleye, Vanya Marinovic, about to mess up his name, from Sacramento. And then the Bucks got Serge Ibaka, 2 second-round picks, one from Sacramento, one from Detroit, and cash.
Okay. Detroit, Marvin Bagley. Now we can start to evaluate them. It's a saying, don't judge any draft pick as long as they were Sacramento. Now we can kind of get them. we can kind of start judging them now. You know what I'm saying? We can see what he really made of. He going with Troy Weaver. He going over there. And Troy Weaver, he's kind of, stacking the deck with a bunch of young promising prospects. And he's going to let them weed themselves out. You know what I'm saying? And, that's what it is. Now he has the opportunity to play consistently and show what he is, man. So that's good for them. The Clippers, they get Rodney Hood and Semi Ojeleye on top of what they got the other day with what's my man from Portland and all. You see, like they're doing the same thing. They just ain't got their horses because they out. So it's similar to what we was talking about. Phoenix just getting built, just getting deeper. So. Like everybody see the teams you got to kind of go through whatnot. So for them, they got to go through the Warriors and Phoenix. So once they get healthy, and Memphis, and they all deep on the wing spot. So that's good for them to just have some depth on that end. The Kings just being the Kings. You know what I'm saying? Just adding pieces, man. I really have no idea what direction the Kings are going right now. It's just, let's call it what it is. It's just like they're just trying to get talent to possibly move and try to get big, possibly get some talent, maybe in free agency, who knows, or something like that. But they just acquiring the talent, man. Kings doing their own thing. Like I said about Marvin, he gets a chance to play. He gets a chance to show why he was drafted, where he was drafted. So we'll see what happens. But for the Bucks, I definitely love the Serge Ibaka thing. We just said it. We're gonna keep probably saying it throughout this. You need depth at the center position. You just need in your front court. You're not getting out the East with a weak front court. It's just not gonna happen, though. Like I don't care how good your guard play is. It's just you're not getting past those monsters, man. It all starts with Giannis and Embiid, and then you work your way down to Bam. Them Cavs, bigs, they up there like, don't forget about us. Vucevic, man, it's just real, man. Like it's real. The big man came back in a in a real way. So, and, with the Bucks getting him, obviously with Lopez out, you can spell Giannis. Giannis don't have to get burnt out. You can put Serge Ibaka on, Embiid or Bam or something like that. They meet up, or Drummond or the Cavs bigs, and you can keep them fresh.
All right, welcome back, Ray. As you can see, we're going through some of the trades from deadline day. Cardell, we're just finishing up talking about the 14 trade, the Bucks, Clippers, Kings, and Pistons. Did you want to jump in and add your thoughts there? Or you want to wait for the next trade?
No, I mean it sounded like it was what Cardell was saying was pretty on brand with what I thought. Especially when he just finished up with the Bucks pick. I mean, yeah, like you said, you need to you need to have a crew in the front court if you expect to do anything. So yeah, that was a good gift for them.
All right, this for you both. We talked about Tice coming back to the Celtics. This is how it happened. The Celtics got Daniel Tice back. The Rockets got Dennis Schroeder, Enes Freedom, Bruno Fernando, all sent to the Rockets. And Enes Freedom was already released. But so they on the roster still, I think it's Dennis Schroeder and Bruno Fernando.
So Enes is free. But no, Dennis Schroeder just kind of showed that point guard position. I know Kevin Porter kind of been the point. But they've been doing it by committee coming off the bench, man. So with him, he can kind of come in and play the role. Maybe spell Porter. He could be he could be the main point guard and have Porter and Green on the wings. Porter's still gonna be bringing it up, overnight. So that's cool. Bruno Fernando, just another big to add to the mix. With Wood and my man, the young rook that be working out with Dream, giving him dream symptoms on the block and stuff like that. What's the single or whatever? The Turkish big, yeah. So it's just add more depth, just quietly building with some young talent, just to see what he has, man. Bruno came out early from Maryland. Still trying to figure himself out in the league. So, he's been traded twice. He was on Atlanta, then Boston, and then now with the Rockets. So, get a chance to kind of show what he can do on a young team.
Right.
Yeah, them getting Dennis Schroeder just gives them somebody with a little more experience than the guys they got right now. Just kind of guide them along and show them the ropes. I mean, obviously, those young guys are going to be the future and eventually become their show. But I just think it's good to get somebody to kind of guide them along. And with Fernando, man, it's just give him an opportunity. They're a young team, so there's going to be some minutes to be had, and he can play himself into a better position, either with Houston or or elsewhere.
Hey man, we're gonna get to the trade I think everybody wanted to get to today, the one that was felt across the internet or whatnot. So look, this trade had folks, they've been asking about this for a while. I got some comments that were starred earlier. We're gonna get to y'all just a little bit. But once this happened, everyone's aware that it was possibly gonna happen. Our chat was going bonkers for a little while there today. I was down here laughing in my office like a madman. So my wife thought I was nuts. What are you down there laughing? You can't possibly be looking at anything that funny. But when the trade was announced, I'm still not really over it all the way. So when I get to y'all's comments about the trade in just a little bit, if I see any more comments pertaining to, kind of the biggest trade of the day, I'll star them and we'll get to them afterwards. But Ray, perfect time to join, buddy. The Sixers and Nets. It's not on here, but it should be Paul Millsap's name under James Harden. He went with him. So I just want to make sure that's clear. The Sixers get James Harden and Paul Millsap. Just want to make sure that's clear. The Nets get Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, a 2022 first that is unprotected, and then a 2027 first from Philadelphia. You got first crack at this, Ray, then Cardell. I'm not mature. I don't even know if I'm going to share my thoughts. So go ahead, Ray.
Robbery without a gun, man. Like, the Nets made out like bandits. Harden got what he wanted. Hope he's happy. It's gonna be interesting moving forward. This is a position that Philly put themselves in. This started obviously with when they were eliminated from the playoffs last year, and you have your head coach and your franchise guy come out and throw Ben Simmons under the bus, plain and simple. And he didn't appreciate that, which I don't think anyone would, and basically just said, "I don't want to be here anymore."
Hold on, Ray. Not to cut you off. Hold your thought with that. But can we address that part? What's wrong with people not understanding that Ben was dead wrong, and he's soft for not wanting to be a place that he wasn't wanted and slandered? Like, he wasn't just slandered to Philly fans; he was slandered to the whole world. We were literally on a call, though. Like, they were the only game in town in the playoffs at that point. Why don't people understand where Ben is coming from? Like, I understand there's a lot of messy people out here who like mess, and they love to jump on BS. But how you, like in common sense, I don't care what job you have, and your boss come in like, yo, we ain't meet our criteria, and it's your fault. And says it in front of everybody. And you like, hold on, dog. I ain't the only one that been late doing other, like, effing up. And all right, since it's all my fault, let me go somewhere else where it won't be my fault, and y'all figure it out. Why don't people understand that?
I'll go first real quick. And this is not because this has bothered me for quite a while. Fans across sports have this thing where I don't know how, but they're able to kind of wrap their mind and take the organization side over anything first before taking a chance to think about what from the other side with the player or whatever. And then from the player side, it feels like it depends on who it is for them to take the time and effort to want to care, to be in said player's shoes or what have you. But the other thing is, I feel like if you add that context to it, Cardell, honestly, it ruins how some people are even talking about the trade. You know what I'm saying? Because like some of the people that like the way that some people were talking about it today, where it was like, it's being said that the 76ers robbed the Nets, yada, 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 is because like, and this is why I've done my best not to tweet back today after the trade happened. Because I know what the type of conversations would be had is, as soon as you say it's just I don't care about Ben Simmons and you start talking about the trade, that context can't be left out when discussing this trade because it's a fact that it was a building block that led to this place. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I can't discuss it. We can't talk about this without starting at that place. It started there. Like you said, in the playoffs, what have you? You do somebody like that wrong, like, and again, we're a little bit older, old school wise. You deal with that in house. You stand up for your teammates, etc. What have you? Perfect example, and I keep bringing up my football team or whatever. However I may feel about Jimmy G and how he plays or what have you, who's never publicly let anything ride? His teammates. They haven't let it ride at all. No matter what anybody says, everyone has his back to a T. It's not that hard. And we see the opposite with the Sixers. And it's not even the same type of player, what have you. You don't do that. Y'all failed as a group. That was a group F, right? A group F. Ben didn't do that by himself. It was a group F. You earned that together. And you turned into, this is a scapegoat, and everybody goes with it because some folks like Joel more than they like Ben and what have you. Again, I'm with you because common sense isn't a part of it. If you take 2 seconds and add that context, think about how you would feel if that was you on your everyday job, and you're getting blamed for stuff you didn't do, while somebody who is the worst employee ever is left alone and unbothered. Then you're gonna feel some type of way. How could you not? He didn't put on a fat suit. He ain't do nothing crazy. All he simply asked was, don't, like, literally just stop treading on me. Don't disrespect me. It's not that hard. The kid stood up for himself, and that was that. He didn't pout about it, didn't throw a tantrum, didn't stop anyone's season. Just, this is the line. I'm not going back to a toxic environment. And the other side continue to be toxic this entire time. Like even today, you couldn't just chill. Soon as it happens, we got to trolling, and it's like ha, yeah, it's funny, but not really, because it was stupid. Do you know what you just gave away for no reason?
But he's not thinking about that. That's what I mean. That's poor leadership. You don't do that. If anything, you put it on yourself. Now, and then you deal with Ben behind the scenes. You get in the locker room. Ben, you gotta get your jumper together, dog. Like, we need you, bro. We believe in you. Like, I'll help you. We get in the gym together. We'll work. Let's do this. Sam Ian Casel's on staff. Sam, can you come in the gym with us? Jumper's water from any range, especially mid-range. Help this boy out. Like, let's do this. We this close. We can make this happen. Let's rally behind it. Your teammate. You don't do that, man. And people up here trying to say, hey, man, you know, it's toughness, is you weak minded, all that. I'm like, some of y'all ain't been criticized. Y'all can't even handle criticism of any form, like especially when it's happening in the world. Like stop BSing. Like a lot, and then it's coming from everyday people who, when they don't like something on their job, they'll quit in a heartbeat and go look for another job. Put their 2 weeks in and bounce. Like, you just don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's just disappointing in what it is. And I'm looking back at the stats and stuff like that. Ben only shot 4 times, so he wasn't confident in jumping. If you're not confident in your jumper, don't shoot it, right? So that's smart. He didn't shoot. Even though you wanted him to shoot, he probably should have shot like that dunk. Yeah, go up and dunk that, dog. Don't worry about being fouled. I get it. But he recognized he wasn't where he needed to be. So he did not shoot, which means he cannot hurt you in that area. All right. But he still had 13 assists and 8 rebounds. Okay. And he held Trae Young to 5 of 23, because Lord knows nobody else can guard him. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he held him to that, man. And 6 turnovers from Trae. All right. But no one's talking about Kevin Huerter, who didn't do anything in the series to that game, going off for 27. No one's talking about Joel Embiid's 8 turnovers. You know what I'm saying? He missed a couple free throws down the stretch, didn't he? All right, that's what I'm saying. And wasn't it John Collins who put him in a basket, then showed up to the post-game presser with the next game with a T-shirt of him dunking? Come on now. I think I'll be more like you look. Embiid in the game said he had 31-11. After that, oh, you gotta get 50, dog. Don't even worry about it, man. I got this. And what's pissed me off even more with him, and he keeps showing who he is, and he's getting a pass. Ben ain't said nothing all year. He ain't said nothing all year. People been killing him. He ain't said nothing all year. But he supposed to be weak mentally, and he ain't replying back. Isn't that a sign of good character and integrity? You being strong?
If you like the person,
on that. The only thing we know he got back at was Shaq, because Shaq says. So if Shaq ain't say that, we wouldn't have known that conversation would have went down. You still sneak dissing him, and he moving on and stuff like that. And then what's really funny, because people just love mess. Like I said, messy people love mess. Now they acting like he going to Brooklyn. He's not gonna matter in that. I'm like, are y'all serious? Do y'all watch this man play? He got 2 all-world scores. He got a young boy that will be in that mix all-world score, Cam Thomas, because he's a bucket.
Yes, he is. My goodness.
Then you got Seth Curry, who can hit threes and stuff like that. Then you got Drummond down there to miss the double-double to clean all that up. Just wait if you happen to miss. Meanwhile, he going to be motivated because he's pissed. And you got to deal with that, man. Like, bro, you can't make this stuff up. And people really trying to convince themselves that Philly got, come on, man. Like, and you gonna put your hands you really gonna put your franchise in the hands of a dude, a big, who still don't know how to lead because he's being petty. Let's call it what it is. And a guy that done quit on 2 teams in less than a season. Yeah, y'all good luck with that one, man.
Man, look here. Ben getting the rebound and pushing the break, surrounded by nothing but shooting. Nobody wants to deal with that. And then Embiid, I hope you happy because Harden's going to eat into your touches, and you're going to be mad about that. And then just prepare to deal with whoever he guarding at the rim because we know where he is on that end. So enjoy those extra fouls you won't pick up, or just make business decisions and let people get layups and dunks. Have a nice life. Like it's not gonna be pretty, man.
Yeah, it's absurd that we took something, but I get it because we've been talking about a lot where people have taken where shooting is at a premium, and that's great. It is a big part of the league. It does matter. So do the people that create quality shots for said shooters. We're watching the importance of what Dre means to Golden State out there, what have you,
Thank
right?
you.
And we can see it. So it doesn't make sense that we can look at Dre at 6'6" and what he does for Golden State. We've seen it be tried and true. We've been saying the same stuff about Dre. Man, how did they end the postseason last year? My man want to take a floater at the rim or tricked one away, yada yada yada. Several years ago, he was shooting 35 from 3. Like obviously they're not the same person, but again, the role they're gonna play where you have multiple shooters and they facilitate, and Ben's a whole different animal when that's a natural facilitator at 6'12" or whatever he is. And you giving that away. And not to mention, as annoying as the Nets were last year, do y'all realize how slow they played because Harden was at the one?
Because he wasn't in shape.
Yeah. So think about how slow they played. Do you know what it's about to be like? Even in Philly this year, right? They play at a dumb slow pace because Ben isn't there, right? So now James is going to be there. Drummond is JoJo's backup or whatever. Drummond's not a skill, yada yada. But you can't even get the most out of Drummond because they don't run. They don't run at all. So now you're putting somebody who you're literally like the only thing, his biggest flaw is some stuff he doesn't have to do because the team that is around him. I've seen people today get on this internet, and this I've been trying real hard not to respond, talking about how is he going to have the ball in his hand? Right, it's Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. You think those assassins won't be happy they gave up the ball for James to walk it up.
You think they're pissed. They're pissed because they wasted time with this fool. They're pissed. Like, look at the All-Star selection. KD only led one time. That's when Barkley he healthy now. He got the trade because it was funny. Like even LeBron had to laugh at that because they know it's just BS what he doing, dog. And they y'all do y'all really want that KD to come out? Y'all damn KD.
Hey,
y'all really want that drop? All right.
It's here. Congratulations.
Y'all know who I am. So yeah, boy, don't let them see each other in the playoffs, though. That's all I'm saying. Like, boy, it's gonna be a cooking session of epic proportion. Remember that 60-100 game he had in the finals against Cleveland? Y'all want that Okay.
And you know who I feel the worst for? Matisse Thybulle is the only perimeter defender in Philly. I ain't gonna lie. That's who I felt so bad. I was hoping he was part of the trade.
Yeah, dog.
I was hoping he's part of the trade. I didn't want young boy to be left over there. You got to put out the fire for the entire team. At least before you had Ben, even in that series, Ben to Trey away. You just had to, and even then, they couldn't duplicate you to put you on. You couldn't guard multiple people at one time. Ben's gone, man. Like, I don't think people get that. The pace in which they played, the offensive rebounding, the defensive rebounding. You think Steve Nash and Mike D'Antoni over there in Brooklyn talking about something? Yeah, man, walk the ball up the court.
And they can pass. You see how Kyrie was passing the rock? Dog, Ben gonna get the easiest buckets of his life. He gonna dunk the ball. Like, look, y'all boy, and y'all pissed, and now it's on because they know what they pissed. I can see in Kevin's face, he pissed. So all right, you know what I'm saying? My man wouldn't even pick him in the All-Star game. Like, nah, give me Rudy Gobert. I got 4 centers, but nah, give me Rudy too.
And Rudy Gobert was the same dude. They were all laughing at last year when they were picking teams. Like,
nah, dog, they on. It's on. They ain't gotta say it. We know it's on. So yeah, if they meet in the playoffs, that's my CTV, dog. I'm just leave it there.
Everybody better hope they don't get in. We talk about all them shooters. Joe Harris hasn't been with Brooklyn at all this year.
I forgot about him. And you can't talk. Hold on, we gotta stop disrespecting Kyrie and KD. They can shoot. These are all-world scores. They're gonna give it to them any which way possible. It's gonna come from everywhere. But it's gonna be bad.
Like the amount of stuff I seen on today that both of them that were ball dominant, as if we didn't watch Kyrie in the finals with Bron. Bron was the ball dominant player. Kyrie was playing off ball, putting up the numbers he was putting up. We watched Kevin and Golden State off ball. Those are two all-world assassins playing off ball. What is wrong with y'all?
So they know how to play basketball. Like, when they come to Kai, it's never really about on-court stuff with him. It's other stuff. Like that's the least of my concerns with them, though. Like for them, it's just staying healthy. Because like let's be real, the rest of the league just praying that they don't get healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Joe Harris. Bro, the versatility on that team, man, is sick, bro. It's just like y'all really thinking that, no disrespect to Philly, who they have and all that. Yeah, they're gonna win games and stuff like that, but y'all really believing in Embiid and James Harden getting stops when it matters most against this type of team?
Or at all? Or at
all? Embiid got a ball. He got to deal with Drummond. Like, I'm not saying Drummond's on his level, but you got to keep a body on him. You got to deal with him because he will go in there and he gonna be motivated. Because now you think about it. You got a chance to win a chip. Let's go. Like, what do we need to do? It ain't like another game. Man, let's get this over with. Nah, they on one. They know what it is, dog. And then iron sharp as iron. They're gonna be going against each other in practice again. Like, let's be for real, man. Like stop the bull, dog. We know who won that day. You got first rounders with it, dog. Man.
Yeah, so what's it called? You went from having, if you're Brooklyn, you went from being like, oh man, we got Nick Claxton playing. Like Aldridge had to come back and play minutes at some point in time. We saw them have to put Paul Millsap out on the floor at times. You just went to the place now is Drummond and Day'Ron Sharpe. At the worst, that's two dumb athletic, big body dudes that are just go bang. Okay, coach. Day'Ron Sharpe was annoying tonight. He don't even know what he's running around and doing. He's big and strong, knocking people out the paint and everything else. Like, and this is the other thing. If you're drumming somebody like that, you're playing for the opportunity to stay.
Mm-hmm.
They cleared James off of that. Kyrie didn't re-up.
What happened to Claxton? He's still there?
Yes, Claxton's there. They didn't move him today.
There you go.
So that's yes. So that's Drummond, Day'Ron Sharpe, and Clax wasn't bad last year. He's just the big that doesn't have any meat on his bones.
Listen, man, he athletic. Just block shots and don't.
Right.
Like, there's the hedge out, baby. That's all we need you to do, dog. We got that's what I'm saying, man. I at least got that. Like, nah, you gotta give up something. Just
they took and the worst part to me is they took the only other shooter you have that can dribble. What were you thinking? Danny Green ain't putting that thing on the floor on purpose.
They think Tyrese Maxey going to step up. He's capable, but he ain't ready for. That's Kyrie. He got match up with, dog. That's a whole. Like Ray, you saw it live. Go ahead, Ray. Like we cut him off. Ray, go ahead. You saw it up close and personal, dog. And this was just playing within the flow, Kyrie. This ain't
right. He was definitely chilling tonight.
This ain't ignorant. I'm taking shots AI style, and I mean good ignorant. Like I'm about to just murder you. Like take shots AI style, Kyrie. It wasn't that.
Yeah, man. It's Daryl Morey on drugs. That's plain and simple, man. Because they're gonna have a rough go at it. Because yeah, and then on the flip side, the Nets addressed their deficiencies.
Mm-hmm.
So, and even not even just looking towards a matchup with Philly in the playoffs. If they see Milwaukee again, they got
Miami.
Or Miami, yeah, they got bodies to deal with them guys. So, good luck. Good luck.
And what we didn't say, Ben spells KD defensively. Mm-hmm. Now KD ain't got to guard the best big or best wing or whatever like that. Ben got that. So now you got to deal with a fresh KD for 48 in 7 games. And he's already an efficient monster, dog. Man, come on, man.
Could you imagine if he had Ben last year in against the Bucks? He has legs. Good. He has legs at the end of that game.
Yeah.
Like, again, to what you guys say, my bad. I wasn't trying to cut you off. It's just absurd that people were like looking at this and thinking something crazy. You gave one of the league's best facilitators to the league's best scorer And then another assassin. Like, what were you thinking? Like, I don't get it. And like y'all said, they fixed their deficiencies. We saw their deficiency last year. Their front line was not big enough because KD had to do big man stuff like out of necessity.
Mm-hmm.
He not over time, like you said, it's gonna wear him down. That's not. Go ahead.
And let's say Ben Jumper isn't ready. You know what I'm saying? It ain't there yet. He needs a summer in the playoffs or whatnot. Just don't send him to the Bulls, or he takes the ball out. How you gonna foul him? But Kyrie and KD gonna be on the floor. Cam Thomas gonna be on the floor. Seth Curry, Joe Harris,
Patty Mills.
Damn,
forgot about him.
Yeah. And you said, look, all you got to do is solve it is by having the 6'10", the 6'12" person inbound the ball. Oh, because that's easy to put pressure on the inbounder when they're looking down at you. I just honestly want to see what teams do the first time that Ben's bringing the ball up and KD's the screener. I just want to see the reaction to it.
Man.
I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just being honest. Like, I remember when Steph used to bring the ball up and KD was a screener, and defense was like, Lord, help me, please. I hope they miss. It wasn't an answer.
Right.
I don't know. And you invited that 6'12", 240-pound monster driving lanes downhill because I want to know who's going to leave shooters to step in front of them.
They ain't think about that. They ain't think about that. It's just like, in love with Harden. We got it. They put all their chips in. I respect it. They going for it. But at what cost, dog? Like literally, you have to pray for health to help you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, Philly, can you say definitively that they can beat the Heat?
Who you say, Philly?
Yes. Can you say definitively can Philly beat the Heat?
I don't think they have. They don't have enough defenders. No, because if you put Tease on Jimmy or whatever, right? Cool or whatever, Kyle Lowry's gonna do what he wants.
And then Bam gonna rumble. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna rumble. It's not an easy win. And you got PJ down there to help out.
Duncan Robinson
down for all
smoke
defensively.
Mm-hmm.
You got Duncan Robinson. You got what's it called? They got an extra big
Tyler
coming off. Who's their backup? They got Dedmon coming off the bench, just big and strong for no reason. They got, like everybody got stuff in their front court. And somebody had a great comment. We'll get to some of these starred comments. I think I'm gonna put some of these up. Y'all don't need to respond because I feel like we already answered them, but I'm just gonna put them up. And then I'll get to the one that's kind of recent. This was one about the Wizards when or earlier about Todd possibly. We'll see about that. Saying that they spanked them in the trade. Maya agreeing. More agreeing with this. This is you guys pretty much agreeing with the discussion that we had. Thank y'all for staying around with us this long too. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Truly do. This was just during that discussion about Ben and whatnot. And them. Michael Kirksey got me dying. Said Cam was cooking us. He was.
Yeah. He cooks a lot of people.
Hey, man. First of all, Embiid and Harden not going to mesh well.
No, that pick and roll defense, bro, when they in that jump, he gonna get mad at Harden. Come on, man. You throw with the screen. You throw with the fucking screen in there. Dog, you ain't been watching me? You know I don't do that. Come on, run this pick and roll. Run this pick and roll, slip to the basket. You ain't getting the ball, dog.
I don't do that stuff.
Come on, man.
When
Kevin fed up, dog, and Kevin patient, he ain't the type of react. When he on live TV, and he definitely don't want to give the media ammo. But when he on live TV talking about Harden, he keeping the screw face on, dog. Like they pissed, man. They irritated. It's like, dog, what's your problem, man? Like come on. Oh, and they asked like, who's Embiid's backup?
Yeah.
Probably my young fella Charles Bassey. Who I love going all the way back to high school, but he young. You know what I'm saying? 6'9", 230. Has great potential, but he don't got the know-how yet, dog. That's a whole different animal.
And who's the dude for they got a guy on their G League team. Yeah.
I think Bassey roughed him.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oof.
You see Reed down there, and Bassey, he ain't getting mad because Embiid kill him, but George's Niang's still there. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking. Yeah, that's all they got. Like Paul Reed, 6'9", George's Niang, he's 6'7", but he's 230. He a big body. And then you got Charles Bassey. That's why I like Charles Bassey at center. But my point is, I mean, they got Millsap in the trade too, but he older. I don't know how much he got left in the tank, man. But that versatility with the Nets is gonna be insane, bro. It's just, who do you guard? Yeah, the Eastern got serious, bro. Because out west, let's be real, in Dallas, I don't know, they trading Porzingis. That Luka must have been fed up, but trading Porzingis, that hurts them. I can't keep him up there, man. Utah got their own issues though, so I'm not. It's really just three. It's Phoenix, Golden State, and Memphis, and everybody else just wishing. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it a buck, but yeah, the East gonna be real. Like it's gonna be some. I mean, look, let's be real. Can you say the only thing Philly got over the Cavs is experience, but matchup wise, and now that they got LeVert, with the way Garland been playing, and you got those bigs down there, and then you forget Markkanen. He's the 3. He's 6'11". You feel him like dog? Yeah. This gonna be fun. This gonna be a fun second half.
Yeah.
I love covering the league.
All I gotta say, it's a bad time to be giving up defensive shooting, but I'm gonna shut up and mind my business. That's all I got.
And what happens in the playoffs, dog?
Game slows down.
You gotta be able to defend, man. You
gotta be able to defend. Everybody that could get by people during the regular season can't get by people in the postseason. It ain't the same. And then now, like, the sad part is Brooklyn being away with doing their switching or whatever with bad defenders. Now they can switch on purpose and it's good things. Like, what did you do? I just really want to ask Philly what you did. Why?
And somebody made a good point in the comments. Cavs got Rondo.
Oh, they did get him. Yeah.
They traded Rubio for who? They traded Rubio for?
LeVert.
Yeah, you're right, LeVert. So they got LeVert and they got Rondo just to teach them, throw them gems, come in, show up that second. Come on, dog.
Okay, and going back to this, I hate to keep harping on this. Everyone has multiple bigs and multiple ball handlers. What did you do, Philadelphia?
They banking on Embiid carrying a little, but that's a tough load. That's a tough load when it'd be different if Embiid was playing against like a non-factor big. Like, no, I'm not trying to throw nobody on the bus, but y'all know what I mean. Just a big that's just there, take just 7 feet. Like he's gonna kill them. You know what I'm saying? And Embiid gonna get his numbers. That's not it. Him and Jokic battling for best big in the game. You know what I'm saying? So best center, I'll say, because obviously Giannis got a chip overall big. You gotta look at that, but he has to play. Like he's not gonna be able to get a break on the other end. On top of being in pick and roll situation, they're gonna try to pick and roll him to death to keep him out of the paint and make him have to defend. And they're gonna test his conditioning. And we all know his conditioning has been a factor throughout his career. So, bro, it sounds good, but when you win them, look, all that emotion go away and logic kick back in, you look around, like, well, hold on, what did the Nets get again?
Going to try to hit unsend on their joint.
Too late, dog. Hey, Sean Marks and them had that DocuSign ready. Done, right? All right.
Oh man,
we ain't seen Ben Simmons heard from this man in forever. He done already talked with Kevin. He already supposed to be on this road trip. Man, again, people been sitting around waiting to get back.
You already know what Ted said. Yo, you ready to work? Absolutely. All right, come to Miami. Nothing else need to be said. They're gonna be quietly working. And you know, Kevin gonna be like, "Look at dog, this all you gotta do to shoot. Look, just do like that's it. It is a wrap, dog. Like,
and that's the scariest part. Even if it's an array of floaters or what have you, bro, you're in trouble. Like, he doesn't have to show up shooting threes to be effective. Like, this is the dumbest part about all this. You gave that away. There's not a bunch of those in the league.
And people don't understand that even Kai, Kai to a certain extent has been a mentor for Ben to an extent. They got the same high school coach. You know, his coach at Montverde coached at St. Patrick's before he went down there. That's Kyrie's old coach. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole different dynamic where they know each other. There is already familiarity. Y'all do what you do. Like, Ben will be like, my job is to come here and make y'all job easy. That's all he gotta do, and he could do that well. That's why I don't understand the slander and stuff like that. But you know how it is. If you can't hit threes these days, if you're not a good 3-point shooter, you ain't good. Meanwhile, we just saw a guy get shipped out who's supposed to be a marksman, and we looking at him like, dog, what? I mean, that's it. You need a refund, bro. Like, you was robbing, you stealing money. No, you need to come back here and clean the arena or something. You need to. I need something to get a bang for my buck or something. Cook some food or something. You know,
it's bad.
So look, they came up, man. They just got to put it together, get Kev healthy, and keep them healthy. And health is gonna be a big thing. And then home court, because right now everybody gotta go to Miami and Chicago right now. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. But I love it. It's competition back, and it's parity. We gonna see, man. But yeah, Memphis. I mean, my bad, Brooklyn, man. They had a hell of a job. Oh, man. They did their thing.
And the best part, it reminds me when Golden State got Wiggins, you got a player at that age that is cost-controlled and locked down for at least 3 more years. Stupid, stupid, stupid. So you didn't have to go back and forth with somebody. And meanwhile, dude just opting in for 47 point whatever. Ben wasn't even the highest paid person on the Sixers. Like that's why, we as a group, as a program went nuts when Golden State had their trades. You're not supposed to get young players that talented locked into a cost-effective contract in a trade. You're not supposed to.
And you gave him a first-round pick. And low-key, the Nets have been hitting this current regime. They've been hitting on draft picks. Cam Thomas, Claxton. They've been hitting on picks, dog. So that first-round pick can be an animal.
At worst, they get to go in the draft and make another selection. At best, they go take that first of one of these many bad teams, dangle the first, and take somebody else who's been in the league for a little bit already.
So, and who knows what could happen? Philly can hit the buyout market and get some pieces that way and get better. But as we look at it today, on paper, look at and Brooklyn by far, on paper, it's bad, man. And I know people looking at Kyle like, well, he can't play, or he can't play home games and stuff. Well, actually, Genius, that's probably why they ain't trying to move up in the standings like that. You know what I'm saying? we can have Kyle for more road games. It's more. All we need. Look, that's 4 games. I'm sure we can win about 4, 3 of them. And the Kev, I got the other one. We good. So,
I mean, the other thing. I think we're all old enough to remember all the times Embiid went down in past years and been out for stretches. Who was the person holding the Sixers down?
Yeah, Ben last year. He got hurt for 21 games. They kept him. He kept him in first place, but
21 games.
Kept him in first place.
And couldn't shoot and kept his team in first place. Wow.
Yeah, triple doubles, killing shit. Yeah.
Kept them afloat. Crazy. Hope it's enough for the nights that Kyrie's not here that their 6'12" new toy can fill in and do their job and stuff.
But you got Patty and Cam, dog. It's all
Patty, Cam.
And like I said, you got Drummond cleaning up. Oh, LaMarcus. We forgot about LaMarcus.
Yeah, LaMarcus, yeah. Dang, LaMarcus still there, yeah. So they went from having Blake and Millsap at points being their 4 and 5. So Drummond, Aldridge, Day'Ron Sharp, Clax.
And Ben at Spurs.
And when they want to be rude and throw Ben at the 5 and Kev at the 4 lineups out there.
And LaMarcus Aldridge can still play because he came here to DC. And he looked like Portland, LaMarcus, man. Mid-range water, not even touching rim, dog. I'm like, geez, dog. So, you feel what I'm saying? So, and B got a guard. He can't just sit in the paint.
And the other thing is when they play them, that pace, like the pace that's the notch, the several notches that Brooklyn's about to go up, and the pace they play at, James and Joel ain't about to be running at that pace to keep up with them.
Absolutely not.
They're gonna be trying to slow things down. Every bad miss or whatever, they out of there. And again, that's Ben's able to get it himself and push it. Right. But again, I know we want to thank y'all again for hanging around with us this long tonight. I know there's more comments. We're not gonna be able to get through all of them. I'm gonna try to pick a couple good ones before we get out of here. This one was funny. Man said Ben took care of the Wizards without Joel. Talk about last year.
Oh, he did. And he kind of made it tough. Yeah, he made it tough on Russ. And I think Matisse was on Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he made it rough on Russ.
What do y'all think about the Lakers not wanting to get rid of Westbrook?
Not wanting to? Did you write that right? I don't think it was. They didn't want to, dog. I don't think he wanted. I think they was trying. It was just no takers, dog. They're like, really? Dog. Call that California area code voicemail.
They was out there trying to ship THT in the first, and people were just clearly hanging up the phone league wide.
They picked it up.
Well, my bad. People saw the caller who was calling. Maybe they texted him. I don't know, but like they didn't have any assets. And this is what we were talking about when I know some of y'all were asking about what the Wizards were going to do, whatever. Or even with like Sabonis, there was nothing Halliburton level enticing over here. You know what I'm saying? Like that's man. Some people were floating around the maybe Sexton coming over here, and then there was a series of tweets. I'm just gonna share the tweets.
I mean, they got Rondo because he hurt, but and really they got Rondo because Rubio went down. So that's what that was. Now, but Sexton, he a dog. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about the bad rap stuff. He just hurt. He just been out. So free game for you folks out there. Don't believe every little rumor y'all hear. Sometimes it's agents and teams posturing through the media. Just understand that. You know what I'm saying? Think about it if it makes sense first. And then watch the games and see how they interact. A lot of stuff just be BS. They throw little stories out there to check it. We've been dealing with it for years, though. Like, just for example, I always use this. You had people on big time sports shows talking about John Wall and Brad Beal didn't like one another. And we're walking out the arena. We see John Wall and Brad Beal and their family by the elevator laughing, chopping it up. We like, this some BS. They're just doing work for agents just to see, maybe we can get Wall Bill, cause a disruption and stuff, and the team will want to feel pressure to trade him. That's all. A lot of times that's what it is. So you just understand that. So
go ahead, my bad.
Go ahead.
I was just saying this was a follow-up, just asking like where do we think what the Wizards compare to the rest of the East? Like there's no comparison right now to the top part of the East because they're playing a different game right now. The Wizards like the type of trades you had to do versus the type of trades, the contenders are doing is two totally different things. Like again, Washington got a decision. You don't know what you're doing with, who after this season's over or what have you. It's on different tracks. In the top half of the East, but y'all go ahead.
And that's the elephant in the room. It's all they really don't know which way to go right now until he decides what he's gonna do. And, all signs kind of, just common sense. It looked like he might just opt out. Just real. But then again, if he opts in, then what? You got to hit on draft picks. You got to continue to develop your talent. And you know what I'm saying? Because if he opt in, was that 240?
Yes, sir.
So it's gonna be tough to attract top tier free agent. You know what I'm saying? And you got to make it work with Porzingis, but Porzingis got to stay healthy. Otherwise, it's just,
shipping that out too for something back. Talking about the Russ thing, yeah, it was reported today that Houston was cool with the Russ for Wall thing, but Houston was like, y'all gonna give us a first to take that man back. LA was like, no. So he's still on their team. And hey, I'm not mad at Houston. Y'all the ones in that predicament. I gotta take him back, man. Give me something.
Listen, man. Let's just call it what it is. The league not interested in helping LeBron get back on top, though. like y'all down there, we gonna keep you down there. I'm just being real, or the Lakers for that matter. You know what I'm saying? Because you pretty much fleeced New Orleans for Anthony Davis. You know what I'm saying? Like the league, everybody petty in the league. Everybody got an ego, so they're not gonna forget. So, it is what it is. It's a whole lot of former Lakers that y'all let walk away, contributing on a lot of teams across the league. Just y'all dug y'all own hole, and it ain't up to other teams to help save y'all, man. So y'all gotta figure it out, man. It is what it is, man. So I mean, y'all basically lost to a G League team last night. Seriously, so it just is what it is. But I love the parity in the league because it's more exciting this way, man. When it's just you don't quite know where things gonna go, man. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, the Wizards should just be kind of focused on getting in that playoff spot. They just one game out. And we're gonna see when playoff time come, man. Especially after this All-Star break, man. This is gonna be real. We're gonna be paying close attention.
Ray, you got the last one to start first. Mr. Kirksey said, look, man, you want to get this one off. Dang. Yeah. This is what you get to end with, buddy. How about that? All right. There you go.
Oh, man. I mean, until he expresses any interest in leaving Portland, I mean, I'm willing to bet he's going to stay there. I don't see the franchise moving him. But yeah, man, they in a rough spot. I mean, they got a couple young guys with potential, but it looks like they're kind of starting from scratch, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting, man. He's had a rough go at it. Had injury problems this year, but I'm actually glad he brought Dame up because it's weird the reaction he gets for just saying I want to stay where I'm at. Like I thought this was player empowerment and people should be able to choose what to do with their careers. If he want to stay in Portland, then just let him rock, man. Everybody don't want to team up and be a third wheel on a championship team. Like that's not fulfilling for some people. So or maybe he just likes the city of Portland. Either way, man, people just react to stuff foolishly, but let other people slide with doing nonsense. But yeah, man, yeah. As far as Dame moving, I don't think he's gonna go anywhere. He seems to be pretty consistent with that. I know they haven't been as successful he probably like for them to be, but that's his process and that's the way he wants to go about it. So if he cool, then I'm cool.
I just respect Dame. I don't. He's just a super solid dude, man. Like he's the one. He's one. It's not many, man. And I know, Ray, you just kind of this your first year covering getting acclimated to the league, covering it with us and all that. But for the past 6 years with us covering it, he's one of the few dudes like he's authentic. When he say it in interviews, that's what it is. You don't got to worry about him feeding you BS or him ducking anything if it's going good or if it's going bad. He there, like he's just a solid dude. Now, you know what I'm saying? That's why I just root for him. My thing is whatever he wish to do, I ain't got nothing to say is respect. You know what I'm saying? Because he's earned that. Honestly, a lot more athletes, especially superstar athletes, can take notes from him. You know what I'm saying? And I understand why he was mad. even during the Olympics, man, he was on we on presses and stuff, and they kept asking him about like possibly being traded. He was like, "Dude, when have y'all ever known me to say one thing and mean another? Like, if it don't come from my mouth, don't believe it." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right." You know what I'm saying? That's why I never believed in rumors, and people still was just trying, but that's those agents and other teams just checking, dog. That's what they do, man. And it's not gonna stop with him, man. So look, man, Dame as solid as they come, as authentic and real as they come, man. So whatever he decide to do, I wish him the best because he earned that. You know what I'm saying? I do hope he can get to a point where he is competing for a championship because he, you know, it's kind of like when you saw Giannis win, it felt good because that's an authentic dude that built it up and did it the right way. Like, that's what being a franchise player is all about. You know what I'm saying? So you need more people like that, man.
Yeah, I remember them calls early in the morning, and folks had the nerve to waste that man time. Man, Ray, I'm hanging on for dear life. It's 4:25 a.m. Every other day, every time this man talk. So and so said that you said. Did I say that? Well, it was reported. Did I say that? Well, let it go. It's the middle of the summer. I really don't want to hear if this man leaving or not. Tired. I know if I'm tired of hearing about it, I know he's sick of hearing about being told what he said. Like, think about it. You're telling that man stop the question. If that's how you got to start your question, probably should just keep it to yourself. Don't do it.
With him, you know what I'm saying? I get it with other players. It's like, wasn't it just a couple of days ago? James was like, "Did you hear me say that I want to be traded?" No.
Yeah.
And look what happened.
And when he talked, I was just like, it's a matter of time. And the worst part, exactly. I was talking to one of my guys, is like, dude, if you just kept it 100 earlier in the year, they would have just traded you earlier in the year. Like, I don't think you get this. They got what they wanted. The biggest fish of you three is locked in for 4 years.
But it's the backlash because of what he just did in Houston.
I mean, bro, people don't like you anyways. There was no situation.
But they.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just saying, like, you trying to run for office and something, bro. We was done with you in Houston. Like, when you and your team went in there and jacked up 47 straight threes and tricked away the thing against the Warriors, we been done. Everything since then you out here with a fat suit. People been done. There was no saving this. That was way. It's too late, bro.
Hey, what are you trying to protect, bro?
That's what I'm saying.
People scared of that social media heat, though. You were sucking them all in the comments and all that. Like,
but how?
Look, you got media members talking about, is there any strip clubs in Philly? I'm like, y'all wrong, though. Y'all like,
when they lose to Chicago in the playoffs, what you think people won't be saying?
That's the other thing. Like,
they
talk about how Ben dealt with Philly. How's James going to deal with Philly? Let that stuff not end the way they wanted to.
Hey, man.
I'm just asking a question.
You're going to see something.
You know, I want to thank y'all for hanging with us tonight, man. Obviously went a little bit longer because deadline day was nuts. Again, we truly appreciate y'all. We'll be back in a couple of days and see the Wizards play. And we'll see if they have some more of their, some of the new players back. They play the Kings, which should be interesting because they have their new players already. The Kings in the first game with the Pacers, the Hall of Pacers that came over with DeMontis Sabonis, they got their first dub, So congrats to them. So they're going to try to get another one this time out on the road. And for the Wizards, trying to get another home W. Like, you got to stack them, like you guys said. Trying to get into the postseason by hook or by crook, however it happens. So we'll see you guys soon. Don't forget, follow Focus TV on your social media mediums. If you got a Roku television device, just add the Focus TV channel. It's really that easy. Type in the search box for Focus TV. And we'll see you guys very, very soon. Appreciate y'all too.